What we will do is that we'll put this problem into ChatGPT, okay, and let's see what it answers. And this is a different educational experience, to be very honest.
Hello, guys. Welcome to Cheenta School of Statistics and Data Science. We are a team of extremely passionate teachers, researchers, and statisticians from the top universities of India and USA.
So you're drawing the xi to get an insight, and then you are using it to count. Now you still do not have a conjecture, okay, because you do not observe. You have just taken one. Now we will take more examples. Count the intervals. So it's the number of intervals matter, right? You see the number of intervals matter, right? Where they are changing the all the things, right? So therefore the count number of intervals, distinct intervals. Now let's understand this very carefully. That let's do it for another three. Now we will not do it much. We will just do it very quickly because we have got the idea. So let's say you have three values. So you see the relative values matter, okay? Because if you change the numbers, this 0 and 1 will get changed, nothing more. So let's say x1 is equal to 5, x2 is equal to 3, x1 is equal to 7, x4 is equal to 0. So if you draw it, you will only need the relative values because the number of intervals matter, okay, not the positions. So 0, 3, 5, and 7. Now you see that it's saying that 0 here, 1 here, and the next one will be 0 here, this here. The third one will be 0 till this point, and then this, and the fourth one will be, I don't know, 0 till this point, and then. So you see, it's kind of interesting. You see now that here it's all 0. Now in this, only since you have distinctified this, you have made this distinct, in this only one will get into 1. Let's call it, I don't know, it's 3, so it will be x2, 0, 1. Only one of them will be transformed into 1. The next one will be another one will be getting transformed. So that is the 3 part. Sorry, it is 0 part, so it will be 4. Now the 3 part. So 0, 1, 0. So every single time only one position, one is getting added in one of them, one of the positions, right? So you see that therefore their total number of intervals is equivalent to the total number of solutions, distinct. Now therefore the question boils down to this third: how many intervals are there? How many distinct intervals are there for n numbers? And it's very easy. For n numbers, the distinct interval is n plus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer is n plus 1. So how to write this properly? To write the mathematics properly is that first you have xn. To make the relative values, you order it. x1, x2, less x3, or less than xn. Now for each of the ordering, you know that in any one, xi to xi plus 1. So let's write it down properly. I'll write the mathematics. So first step, order it like order x1 to xn as x1, x2, x small n, where xi is less than equal to, it should be less than because xi are told to be distinct, xi plus 1, step number 1. Now the second part is that you show that in one of this, only one is changed from the other one. So let's say from in this interval close to xi open and xi close to xi plus 1 open. In these two intervals, we will see the change. So in this interval, let's say it's b, let's say whatever the value is at this point. So let's say the value are b1, b2, bn. Now you know that what will happen in this is nothing but the fith one. You're sure that wherever the xi is, not fi, but let's say xi is at xk. So you know that at kth position, bk is 0 because xk, all the numbers are still less than xk, right? Till this point, this is xk. So all the numbers are less than xk. So till that it is 0. And that is the only number that will be changing. Why? Because the next greatest number than this is this, which is something different. So for all the other numbers, that will remain same. Only for the kth position it will become 1. So only one change is happening, okay? And therefore every interval one change is happening. Total number of intervals is n plus 1. So therefore n plus 1 changes will happen from the beginning. And the beginning it will be 0, 0, all zeros. So there will be n plus 1 distinct values of a, that set, in that set. So you see how we used examples over examples and ideas and questions to understand what exactly happening, the process of the problem. And this process is mostly important in ISI or CMI. This is not so required in IIT because IIT is very straightforward. Theorem karo, solution nikalo, and that is very boring, to be very honest, and not very educational and very easy. But for ISI and CMI, you need to do this process a lot. Therefore, in ISI and CMI, you do not need time. People do not ask, is 2 hours enough? Yes, it's enough if you can do it. I mean, if you cannot do it, even 10 hours are not enough. Okay. So the fundamentals needs to be done, and that's why you need to practice. Okay. And do this process over and over again, unlike IIT preparation. Okay. So now what we will do is that we'll put this problem into ChatGPT. Okay. And let's see what it answers. And this is a different educational experience, to be very honest. So let's try. So first of all, you go to this downloads, the question, and first step is you write the LaTeX of this problem, the LaTeX code of this problem, because I'm not sure it will be giving properly or not. I hope it gives. Okay, it gives the problem. Very good. Now you have the problem. Now let's copy this problem. Now what we will do is that we will start asking it to help us. So let's say this is the problem. We will ask it to solve the problem step by step. So first step. So let's try this. Solve the problem in the following way. Steps. So it should be educational for you. Okay, you just do not want the solution. So number one is, I believe, is first look into the information given in the problem and summarize it in your own. Summarize the main information in bullet points. Okay. Then you ask me if I have understood or not. If I say yes, go on to the next step. If no, please explain me why. Step 2. So you see, you have to be very detailed when you are asking it to write it for you. Step 2. So let's write in like this. This placeholders help it understand. It will take some time, but what we'll discover is the process of re-questioning. So step 2, use the information in the problem in step 1 to see if you can identify any result or ideas to solve the problem step by step. Present the ideas in bullet points to me. Then ask me if I have understood the ideas or not. If also ask me if which idea, okay, do I want you to approach the problem with. So this first step, then go to step 3. The first step will give you how to make the problem information concise. What are the important problems in the problem, issue, like concepts in the problem, ideas, uh, concepts. So if you want, you can also ask another step for you to tell you what are the fundamentals needed. Now step 3. The step 3 is very important. The step 3 is implement the idea I have asked you to use step by step, logically, with consistent mathematical. These are all prompts in itself, okay? Reasoning. So ask me after every step if I have understood or not. Explain if I say no. Proceed to the next explanation step if I say yes. Okay, so let's see. So it's saying that we have this. So it's just writing. So yeah, so this is exactly the problem. And this is actually helpful when there are a lot of problems, but in this case, it's very easy. Yes. So why we are doing this is that, or any GenAI, it has something called context length in the, if you know the algorithm. The context length means how much previous information it is looking into. So every step, if we ask you to focus on a certain small context by dividing into steps, it can use that to solve the problem. That's why we are doing it step by step. Okay, so it's pretty good. It's giving the right thing. So now, do you understand the main information provided? If yes, we can go proceed to the next step. If no, please let me know. Yes, I think I understand. So let's write it down. Yes, I understand. Please proceed to the next step. It's like chatting. So identify, this is important. Identify the key results or ideas to solve the problem based on main information. Here are some ideas. Idea 1, understand the behavior of FK. Very good. For any fixed t, FK can be either 0 and 1 depending on what xk less than. So this means yes. So it's right. It's right. So this tells you what I think it gives me is that it gives me the idea to draw the graph of the problem. Okay, that how the behave f is actually behaving. It's focusing on 0 and 1. And next, determine how the tuples f1 f2 change as t varies. Exactly, this is what exactly happened. For example, this, oh wow, see, it gave an idea. As t changes, if it's less than equal to minimum, it should be less than equal to, but yeah, it doesn't, you don't expect it to do be mathematically fully correct, but expect to generate ideas. And where it's incorrect, so your job is to make it mathematically correct, and each job is to be creative and give you ideas, and that's where generate ideas and processes and do the process faster. And that's where you go together to write the solution. Okay, and you see that, oh, it's pretty good saying that minimum of x1 are all ft 0, and maximum it's all 1. Between these extremes, f1 f2 changes. So you see, so do you see the beauty of this, the power of this, all of you? Because all of you were asking me, like, is GenAI useful? It's giving wrong answers, but do you see how educational it can be? But it doesn't mean. So the problem is that this is the future educational steps I believe that I have in my mind. The step number one is the student interacts with a teacher or a coaching institution like us to build one's foundation, to understand, to learn the skills. Step number one is building a foundation. Step number two is using GenAI to interact. And that's what exactly the GenAI course is for IIT JAM and ISI. The course is nothing but will teach you how to create problems, how to solve. And I believe there should be a platform for each and every student out there to make questions, make problems, solve, and give their output with GenAI. And of course, your name will be there. And this is something the future I am believing to be for undergraduate, at least in India. And I'm sure that you should ride the wave right now. And I'm glad I got the opportunity to help you out. Okay, so next is t is greater than equal to max. So let's see the idea. I think this is also beautiful. Consider the point t. At each such point, f1, f changes. There are n such points, one introduces a change in the tuple. Additionally, there are n distinct couples, the smallest k and largest. Based on your ideas, we need to determine number of distinct couples. Okay. Yes, I understand the idea. I understand the ideas, but all of them looks promising, right? Which ones do you want to apply? Select the best ones and help me understand this. Help me solve the problem, not understand. Step by step, as mentioned in step 3. I have done this with more problems before also. So let's see. So saying great, proceed with the conventional ideas, implement the step by step, analyze the behavior. Step 3. Oh, wow, it's doing fun. Analyze the behavior after defined values of t. Okay. T, okay, it is already understand. Changes. Oh, yeah. So see, at each t, the function fkt changes from 0 to 1. That means this 1 is changing. It's kind of doing that way. This means the function changes every xk. That's exactly what we have found out, right? Now, if you didn't understand, you can go here and ask it, please explain me further. You see, you select this and there is a button here. That means it's selecting that button, right? That's why it's helpful. This means that tuple, this is not there in other apps though. This means this will change it every k. Determine the distinct tuples. At less than equal to this is, it should be less than, it's right, not less than equal to, I was wrong. 0 greater than equal to this. Between this, the tuples changes at each xk. That's exactly what we have found. Between this, the tuple has a pattern of zeros and 1 which corresponds to xk less than equal to t. Just formalize, just before t reaches x1, tuple is all 0. Just after t passes xk, one component changes from 0 to 1. That's exactly what we have found, right? But it gives you step by step because you have given the prompt. It will not give you. Now, step 3. Initially, you have 0 xk change new distinct tuple at every xk. That happens n times 1 for each. So there are n plus 1 distinct couples, one before the first k, all zeros, and the one for xk totaling n. So see, yes, I understand. Do you understand, all of you now? Do you see the power of this, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So this is more to offer you if you only guide it the right way. And of course, there are some issues, mathematical issues. It should be there. It should be there. But your duty is to build the foundations, and so that you can see through it and write these things together. Okay. So this is the beauty. I believe it's very exciting to show you how this thing. But let's see you don't understand this. Now let's see what it does. I didn't understand this abstraction. Can you help me understand, please? So let's see if it gives examples on its own. If it doesn't give, then I have to ask you to give examples. But see, you know that you can only understand by giving an example, so you can prompt it to give an example, right? So you can tell it that please tell me with help of an example. Okay, okay. At one component changes. See, it's a given example. This is exactly what I wanted. You see, it understands the ideas of steps of problem solving. It understands how human beings think, because somewhere out there people have used this process to explain. See, wow, this is exactly what I did. All of you understood this, guys? You see, it's really beautiful, and you cannot fathom what opportunities it poses to your understanding and problem solving if you learn to use it properly. And see, one thing I will tell you. Okay, after this, let me stop it. Okay, so you see, it gives you examples, makes you understand exactly what I have done. Okay, of course, you need a human in touch. The human touch is not there, but you get the solution idea, the hint, how to think, right? Of course, it doesn't tell you how to think. That's the job. That's the job of our teachers like us to teach you the foundations. But that's where you go hand in hand with the current technology and the teachers. Okay.
If you're enjoying the video, show some love by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. We welcome you again to this passionate community of budding statisticians and data scientists. Let's enjoy the rest of the video. Stay tuned and stay blessed.